Would you like a front view and a side view? For the criminal in me? I'm an art criminal. My name is Jane Runyeon.
Yes, hi. This is another Art Geek production with Ron Schira. We're speaking with Jane Runyeon in her studio in Shillington, Pennsylvania. And Jane is one of the best artists around here. She's been on the scene for quite a few years.
Maybe 30 years.
Yeah, she's been a teacher and an instructor and art administrator with the Reading Public Museum, and is just
pretty much everything involved with art.
Anything involved with art.
In fact, I married a man whose nickname is Art. So what would you like to know about art? Would you like to know about my husband or my craft?
Well, we can talk about your husband later. But let's talk about your craft right now.
Okay.
Because you have done literally everything in the book. You're primarily a painter, but right now you've been working with collage.
Yes.
Collage and paint combination. So just want to take a look at some of the stuff that you're doing and give us a little idea of your aesthetic.
Okay. I'm a landscape painter if I have to be labeled something. And that's the first thing that inspires me, nature, in all its rawness and all its beauty and all of its goriness, something that we really cannot control. We can simply enjoy and love and appreciate. And as you travel the world, it's so exciting to see the different color transitions of the seasons. That's where I started 40-some years ago, painting. I've always been very interested in sculpture, mixed media, video. That's why I'm here doing this for Ron today. And my newest work is, of course, you're always most excited about your newest work. Let me just say that probably I'm much more interested in perception, how people perceive things, than I'm interested in how things are represented. Two very different things. How you perceive someone's home, how you see it in the memory of that place. So this new series is about the library, and the library is an idea, of course, as a metaphor for knowledge. How long do we get to talk? I could talk 20 minutes on anything, Ron.
Well, we have about 7.5 minutes.
Oh, okay, we're totally great then.
Yeah.
I love the idea of a library because it's the knowledge that exists in those books, and the thought is very abstract, as my work is. In a very literal way, my new work is about when you go into someone's home or you go into the library, how you browse through things. Here are a couple of the pieces that I've completed recently, the larger scale, and done to that scale so that it really does have a length that's similar to a full library. And I like the idea that it's both a just a piece, little slither of a collage from something from my life as well as something painted. And it is a puzzle to put together. I also like that it has that reference to a cityscape. You're looking up into the sky, into many, many different windows. And I like that it has that flickering feel to it. The rhythm is very delicate.
Okay. And these, a lot of these are, their sources are from cards and other advertisements that were mailed to you?
Yes, I tend to collect any images that I like, whether they're related to the art world or not. And I think that there's something very funny about cutting up some of the art invitations that I've received. And I always pick work that I really love, so it's really in homage to all those different artists. And I like the feeling, what that does metaphysically, that we're putting it all together. My company is called All Together, and All Together Art. And because I think that today we're so separating we separate the different disciplines. That's really not necessary because it really is all one package, one life, one thought, really. So this, again, I always have a philosophical reason for the structure that I set up for myself. And this particular one is, I've always loved books, and my earlier series sort of led to it when I was doing work that was even a little bit more minimal. I'll show you that. Get you one in the studio.
Yeah, let's go there.
Oh, this is the perfect one to pick, too, because it's called the Dewey Decimal System.
Okay. These are collaged sticks.
they're actual pieces of wood that are painted and then put onto the paper. And the full scale of it is like a memo pad, so it's a bit of like a notation of something. Here's another one to show. This one's called Mixed Messages. And this all comes from the ideas of, I love that that's called the Dewey Decimal System. And it really does look like the stacks that you would go through years ago. And it has that utilitarian gray, which is so much like the stacks in the back parts of like a university library. Obviously a place I spent a lot of time when I was at Albright, just researching way before Computerland.
Right.
This is another one in that series. The series has 25 pieces. This one's called Mixed Messages, and it's much more involved with the coloration behind the actual notations. And I think of the lines as notations, kind of like when you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you cross the stick out, that kind of thing. So that there's a playful element to it as well. This one's it's fun to see how they just grow from one series to the other. This one's called Fort Knox. That's sort of self-explanatory.
And like gold sheen on that. Yeah, there's a tremendous amount of variability you have within this format. You can do a lot of different things with it.
Exactly, and I love to sort of exhaust the idea that it's like, and I do have particular subjects that I wanted to use for that. This one's called Bean Counter. That makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. Because you're in the red, and also it was also during when Boston had won the World Series. So I just thought it was kind of funny to do that. And this is perfect. Have you seen this?
That's the poster for Vive la Difference.
Have you seen that? That's my sense of humor. I don't know if you get it. That's really.
Well, we have that nice butt shot here of France, and now we got
butt shot with the pagoda.
With the pagoda, which is
pretty funny. That was a project that I did with the Berks Arts Council in
works in progress.
Exactly. I haven't really figured out where they're going to go, and they're such smaller scale, so in some ways they're like studies for the larger pieces, which I have pretty much ready to go whenever I get ready.
Well, I think they're interesting even in themselves. They need they'll be done when you're satisfied with them, but
they're interesting, just because as you get into them, I love that you see the forms from a distance. As you get close, you get to see everything from pumpkins to, I often use the imagery from astronomy, the photographs from outer space. Love those. Oh, that does look great. Yeah. So, and sometimes I'm also getting interested in maybe that it's photographed, it's really more finished that way, and these are simply the raw material.
You don't really have the same impact as when you see it on film or on a two-dimensional digital surface as you do when you see it in person.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think we've reached our time limit here.
Well, that's great.
I want to thank you, Jane.
Thank you for coming to Studio 105, Ron.
This is Ron Schira.
Signing off. Arting off.
Arting off for another Art Geek production. Thank you.